All right, that's the theme music, guys, for Tarabuster Tuesdays. What's happening besides the decline of the American experiment? All right. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. All right. You can lower this. Oh, to lower itself. Okay, listen, guys. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. This is Tara Devlin. We meet here every Tuesday and Thursday now at 1 p.m. and then Friday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time or whatever, standard or otherwise. And yeah, this is our Tuesday gathering at the Political Voices Network. Thank you, Charlie from APS Radio News. How's it looking? How's it sounding? Let me move this a little closer. It sounds a little better now. All right. Thank you. Yes, like I said, thank you, Charlie from APS Radio News, for keeping the show going and growing with all your financial support and your support of the community cats out there in the wintry, frozen tundra of New York City. It matters that you bought them those winter shelters, that's for sure. I haven't had a chance to even go out and check, and I hope that's all I keep thinking when I saw that horrible snowstorm. I'm done with winter. But those poor community cats are out there, and they haven't fared well during this winter. I've seen a lot of horror stories on different groups. So, all right, maybe one day we'll have a world that puts money and energy into things like, like that I don't know, that have, so you don't, instead of constantly fighting the greed and horrors of the horrible billionaire Epstein class because I was talking to a friend of mine last night, and he's in the animal community, the animal welfare community, the animal activist community, and he was discussing like how, the city should put money into animal rescue and all. Yeah, wouldn't that be great? But billionaires need more, I don't know, more money, more mad money to buy politicians, corrupt government, and make sure that they can continue to rig the game and get more money as the circle jerk of corruption continues. If we were a moral, emotionally mature species, then we would put money into the things that do matter, like each other and those other creatures that we are sharing this blip of time with. Just my humble opinion, but yeah, I think the whole thing sucks, as the State of the Union sucks. The State of the Union is shite, ladies and gentlemen. I hate to tell you. I wish I was wrong. It sucks to be right, literally and figuratively. But Traitor Trump has done a lot of damage to this country. And, okay, so I was thinking about what we're going to talk about today, because we only have an hour on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and now it's a very tight hour. I can't really go over. So got to start on time, got to end at 2 o'clock, because we have another show following us on the Political Voices Network. So I hope you're a subscriber, okay? Because we can't do it without you, and this is how we're going to we're going to take back this country. I don't mean to, I don't know, toot my own horn but here's the deal. It's not just me. We're doing it together. The independent media, the liberal voices that you support are going to help take back this country. And because that's how they destroyed America. They did it through propaganda, through right-wing propaganda. They seeded the ground with that filthy Rush Limbaugh generations ago. They softened the ground with their divisive kiss up, kick down, I got mine, sucks to be you, racist, sexist, homophobic, not hatephobic, but hateful policies. They had to make them palatable to the masses, and they did it through propaganda. All authoritarian movements run on propaganda because they have nothing in reality to boast about except, what do? They make the rich richer, and all they have to to offer the dumbasses who vote for them it really is the permission to be hateful and hate everybody else. That's it. The permission to be juvenile, to be stupid. We all saw that I don't even know where to begin. Okay, I was going to start with the State of the Union, but we could start with we'll go to the State of the Union because it's all connected. The Make-A-Wish director, FBI director, Kash Patel. And when I say that, I can't even believe that that the director of the FBI is Kash Patel. It's such a clown show. Really, we should all be embarrassed. But I'm sure you saw the Make-A-Wish FBI director went to Italy just conveniently for some kind of security conference. So they say, right? I guess we'll just have to take their word for it. This is the same FBI director that, of course, eviscerated Director Wray for taking partaking in private jet travel that cost the American taxpayers money. That's what they do all the time. Meanwhile, they're nothing but pigs at the trough. No offense to pigs, because pigs, they actually contribute to society, and we should have more respect for them. But no respect for maggots and their enablers. But we did see the Make-A-Wish FBI director go to Italy and hang out with the American Olympics hockey team. Let's see if I could play this without too much trouble. Ooh, that's loud. Hold on a second. Maybe it's... Last time I did this, we lost audio. It was my mistake completely, so let me figure it out a second. One-man show over here, guys. Thank you for... if you can become a subscriber to my Substack, that helps while I'm doing this. Let's see. Look at this shit. Who the fuck is he? Oh my god. Oh my god. Who put a stolen valor golden medal around his neck? But of course, when Traitor Trump, this is what they do. They all have Traitor Trump's phone number in their phone, so they have to call. I mean, are these secured government devices? By the way, they're just calling Traitor Trump on their personal cell phones. But, I mean, we don't, different rules for Republicans. We don't track that anymore. They're just willy-nilly. We all know that they don't follow any rules. They're discussing things on unsecured chats, discussing war plans, passing them around. It's all about the clicks. It's all about the likes and the shares, right? Like me. Please subscribe to my Substack, but I'm not the FBI director. We have actual problems going on here, but I'm not, I don't have, I'm not taking credit for the work of real agents, of course, like Kash Patel. And it's an embarrassment. They're all just clowns. It's a clown show, and they should be embarrassed, but there you go. What's really disturbing is the juvenile nature of it all. And this is not the Miracle on Ice in the 80s. I was a child when that happened. I remember it. I remember I was in elementary school, And we were all so proud of the United States hockey team because there were metaphorical wins too. It was an ideological win of communism over, of capitalism over communism, so to speak. And but the U.S. hockey team were honorable. They seemed to be honorable. I guess we saw them celebrate, of course, but have you ever seen a maggot celebration that doesn't include denigrating someone else or acting like a dick, frankly? Because there's something to being a sore winner. Maggots are worse than sore winners. They're sore losers and they're sore winners. They're just sore. They're aggrieved. It's a perpetual grievance cult. And of course it runs on misogyny, homophobia, division, hate, everything that will eventually destroy this country. What's so disgusting is, of course, Traitor Trump. Kash Patel called up the worst president in American history. And what did he say? Oh, yeah, he had to inform them, we'll invite you to the State of the Union. He needs that stolen valor, stolen glory, like he had anything to do with it. This piece of dirt, who, whenever his country called, unless it involved sucking on the federal treasury, Traitor Trump's feeties hurt when this country called him to service. Traitor Trump has never served this country. In the presidency, he's done worse. There's no altruism involved in Republicans who seek public office. It's very rare. I guess I could thank you, Thomas Massey, for being on the right side of history in regard to the Epstein files. But the people like that are few and far between. I just saw Nancy Mace on Nancy Mace's Twitter account saying, "Pray for President Trump," and posting a clip of him saying, "They're all against me. They're all out to get me." Yes, because why? I guess the QAnon cult, the maggots thought that initially, they thought he was going to expose the pedophile ring of these rich, deep state pedos who were really running government. Well, guess what, maggots? You've been duped again. You Trump University graduates or dropouts, you're whatever you are, too many Trump Network vitamins, non-FDA approved, rotting your brain. Whatever it is, you think that Traitor Trump was going to give a shit about you. Guess what? Or children palling around with a pedo for 20 years, sharing wonderful secrets with the world's most prolific pedophile. All of them, they're disgusting. We just did a thing on Friday night show about Steve Bannon getting caught in another grift against maggots. You see? I'm asking you to become a subscriber to my Substack. I'm not trying to sell you magic beans here. But this is what maggots do to maggots. It's maggot on maggot grift all the time. Suckers are born every minute. Trumpanzees are living proof. Here, buy my meme coin. Who do you think is buying these meme coins? It's not you or I. It's not normal people. It's not the actual patriots of this country who love America and want to see her survive for ourselves and our posterity. We want... it's them. It's the maggots, the ones who are buying the FJB coin, right? Or the Melania meme coin. What a disgrace. Now, we all know it's a grift, and they're all in on it. Fox News, every single one of these propaganda outlets, they're all America-hating grifters who think of the United States, the people of the United States, as nothing but hosts from which to suck profit and discard, period. They're not trying to get you health care. That's why it makes me sick. I see that, okay, you're celebrating your win. Good for you, and I'm glad they won. But then they take away the pride they suck all the decency out of it. And they look like a bunch of maggots acting like dicks and shaming America. They're not elevating America. They're not doing anything to make America, to fix our broken reputation all over the globe that Traitor Trump has done so much harm to. America's enemies are giddy as kids on Christmas morning, thanks to the people who put that baboon in office, who's done more harm to this country than any enemy could ever, any foreign enemy. Let me qualify that, because he's the domestic enemy the founders warned us about. But how do you piss off the Canadians? He's pissing. He wants to buddy up, and he is buddying up to the world's authoritarians. They all are. All the Republicans. Shame on you, Marco Rubio. Shame on them all. But they're pissing off our friends, alienating us in the world from the Canadians, our peaceful neighbor to the north. We couldn't have asked for a better border, a country to border us. But now the Canadians hate us. You realize that. They hate America. America has never, according to polls, America has never been so low in the eyes of Canadians. Let's see. So, of course, the Make-A-Wish FBI director, and I see today that Jon Stewart did a thing about Kash Patel and this event and this incident, and he was calling him the Make-A-Wish FBI director, but that's not Jon Stewart's thing. This has been going on. It's not that I didn't make it up. The agents at the FBI have been calling him the Make-A-Wish FBI director, because he's not the real director. He doesn't know how to lead. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. When you don't know what you're doing, that's why you fly to Italy. You go and you take private jets. You glom up all the perks of the job, because actual leadership is over your head. That's what you need. Your jacket, your medium-sized female jacket with somebody else's patches on it. Patches that say SWAT team. Like, oh, you're a really big boy. Look at you. And then he gets to go to Italy and celebrate with the disgraceful men's hockey team. How dare they? Right? I mean, they really acted like assholes. Okay, they're in the heat of the moment, but it speaks volumes of about who you are. When your guard is down, and then you think that the baboon saying he's not going to invite, oh, well, you realize. Here, let's let me just play the clip. So we don't care if it's snowing, if it's the worst blizzard. You did it the ice.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Fuck off.
No, we'll do it at the White House anytime. What would really be cool, and we'll do the White House the next day, we'll just have some fun. We have
Eat
medals
shit.
for you guys.
You see?
And we have to, I must tell you, we're going to have to bring the women's team. You do know that.
Absolutely. Ha 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 ha.
I do believe I probably would be impeached, okay?
Yeah, because who wants those bitches around? Who wants women? Never mind that the women's team have won more gold medals overall, and they've only been in existence since the 90s. Okay? But as a team, they've won more gold medals, the women's hockey team, than the men's hockey team that have been around since the 1920s. But okay, you gotta divide people. Those bitches, we're trying to get them out of office in every way we can. We're firing them from the military hierarchy. We're getting the white men back in charge, the rich white men that look like they're out of central casting from the 1950s. That's how, Traitor Trump thinks. He wants to go back to the madman days. But he's an old fucking dirtbag. He's an old, as Megyn Kelly says, handsy. He got a little handsy. He's a creep, a disgusting, groping, disco-prowling creep. That's the president. Ha 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 ha. What are you laughing about? You should be embarrassed. When you listen to a baboon disgracing the country, what's so funny? Wow, they have no dignity. No dignity, no decency. It's embarrassing. We could have celebrated America's win, of course, but they acted like juvenile little frat boy assholes who need to be disciplined, but nobody's doing it because the fish is rotting from the head down now. Oh, you realize we're going to have to invite the women. How dare you? And I don't blame the baboon, okay? Really, because the baboon is going to be a baboon. You can't expect a bird to swim and a fish to fly. But the people that voted for it and continue to give cover to it, because as I was grabbing these clips, I went on YouTube and whatnot, and I really, sometimes I have to deliberately stay out of the comment section, because there goes my whole day, going back at these fellow baboons. Because depending on where you grab the clip from, you'll see the comment section, and a lot of times you got to know you're arguing with Russian bots, because they have infested this country. And that's why what we're doing here is so important, to break through. I'm telling you guys, I'm not just saying it because I want you to be a patron or click the like and share and all that. And even though I do, of course, but it's because this is how we will get the country back. It's exactly what happened in Poland. They were able to push back their authoritarian takeover only because they had a free and independent media that could speak truth to power about the regime. And they had I don't know how corrupted their courts were, but because we have a very corrupt court, thanks to Mitch McConnell, Moscow Mitch, and the Republicans have been on this mission, this fascist mission, thanks to the not the Heritage Foundation, what's that one? The Heritage Foundation too, but the Federalist Society picking these judges. The Federalist Society are all fascists. These are the unitary executive assholes that want a king. They want a monarchy. The kiss up, kick down, hey, better luck next life crowd. That's what we're dealing with. And America, as written, as promised, is too decent for them. They hate America, okay? They hate the liberal age of enlightenment. That's why Peter Thiel and J.D. Vance and all of the Republicans, Peter Thiel funds, like Traitor Trump, whether they know it or not, are acolytes of this dark enlightenment bullshit. That's the anti-enlightenment, the dark enlightenment. Aren't you? Yeah. Aren't you big boys? But it's all about subjugating others, putting people in a strict hierarchy where you can't forget a meritocracy, forget freedom. They're dragging us to a horrible system. No one would want to live in look all over the world. Show me a conservative country where people are happy, healthy, successful, and free. Show me. Anybody? You could look at Saudi Arabia, right? Look at the places that are shitholes. So You want to, all you got to do is take their policies to their conclusion, and you get, the shithole countries they're trying to set up. But they don't give a shit. You're saying, like, people like Trump, people like Peter Thiel, they're horrible and underwhelming. That's why they need all the help they can get. Okay? So, but it takes a real dirtbag to turn the Canadians against us, right? That says it all. Canada, Canada, I call it Canna sometimes when I'm trying to just because we only have an hour now, so I gotta speak in shorthand. Canada has been, of course, one of our closest partners on every level. Trade, security, of course, shared values at one time. And until Traitor Trump, till his baboonish annexation bullshit, right? The 51st state. What a horrible time to share the same air with somebody so unfit for office. The open bullying. They've put Canada, they have pushed Canada away and have pushed Canada into the arms of other trading partners. And we were talking about this last time, like China. The U.S. and Canada built at one time, the largest bilateral trading relationship on Earth at one time. Starting back in the 80s, we had, with NAFTA, of course, and we had hundreds of billions of dollars in annual trade. Supply chains, autos, energy, agriculture. Now, they don't want to deal with this shit. We had a shared border. 400,000 people would cross the border back and forth daily for work, for family, for tourism. We had a basically open border. Millions of jobs in both countries depended on cross-border commerce. Now Canada is severing those ties. We had security and defense agreements with each other. Canada and the U.S. were core NATO partners and co-founders of NORAD. And we, at one time, considered each other, it was almost like we were, the closest of allies. We had energy and infrastructure. We partnered on sharing power grids. That's right, yeah. Oil and gas pipelines, bridges, highways. Nothing. There's nothing that exists that Traitor Trump doesn't want to turn into either a money grift for himself and his ill-gotten spawns, his undeserving spawns, and or use as a means to divide people. We had regulatory and border cooperation. We built joint inspection sites on the border. We put our regulations into compliance with each other. We tried to keep the border as thin as possible so we could move quickly back and forth as the friends that we are or were. And of course, we at one time shared a liberal democratic identity that, of course, you need in order for close partnerships and friends. We had, for decades, both Canada and the United States would frame our relationship in terms of shared democratic values about the rule of law, multilateralism, multiculturalism, human rights. Now, all of that is woke to maggots They hate that. They are the domestic enemies the founders warned us about. I have to remind everybody. Then that's why I can't stand when the corporate media treats them, or this time treats Traitor Trump, or this time as normal. It is not normal in any sense of the word. We shouldn't ever be lulled into that kind of, it's not even a security, into that delusion, or we're going to get stuck there. Even tonight, I keep seeing State of the Union tonight, blah, 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 on the corporate media. Well, they just treat it like normal. The State of the Union, America's first convicted felon president, who's trying to get us into a war with Iran now to distract from the fact that he's all over the Epstein files, that he's shared wonderful secrets with a convicted pedo for 20 years, and is ruining our good name, our once good name, all over the globe, and constantly blackmailing other countries with this tariff bullshit like a baby baboon throwing his poopy all over the place. By the time he's done with us, we got a lot of work to do. I am waiting for the great getting up morning, for God's sake. But that's not going to save us alone. The damage is done. How could America's once allies trust us anymore? How can they? You can't. You have to build trust over time with consistency, but then the world has to hold their breath and see if the dumbasses of this country elect another baboon? Because we've been so stupefied by propaganda, by Rupert Murdoch's poison pustule, pouring his poison into our body politic for decades now. And that's one of the things, when we get this country back, and I hope I'm alive to see it, I hope I live long enough to see the turnaround, but we have to re-regulate the media, that's for sure. I mean, personal attacks on Canadian leaders on social media. What a disgusting little child. Rescinding invitations and using Canada as a punching bag in speeches, right? To fire up the friggin' maggots. This all corrodes trust. And I'm sure you've seen the clips where the Canadians boo America during sporting events. Well, I don't blame them. I do not blame them. I know all I have to say is I'm trying. The baboon won by 1.6% of the vote. He won by a squeaker. Shame on every Democrat who stayed home and put him in office. And shame on every maggot. 72 million. There's a lot of maggots. Yeah, I'm not saying there aren't a lot of them, but really there's more of us. And we've been so bamboozled, so divided. I sincerely hope that I know everybody's not as sick of it as I am, but that we get there, that we get to the point where we're sick of it, sick of the division, sick of the embarrassment. I watched those assholes in the locker room with Kash Patel put the gold medal around that little man-child's neck and them act like stupefied babies. Out of control. They just, they act like they just found out they got a substitute teacher or something. Yay! And they're all too emotionally stunted to know how to behave. But you expect them. It's like if that happened in a college class or something, and then you find out and you watch a clip of young adults acting like 8-year-olds. That's what it seems like. Because you expect a certain level of maturity from those in the position of public trust. But not Republicans, different rules. And when I was looking at the comment section in some of these clips, and the maggots are there, but of course, like I said, you gotta check. It might be, you never know. The bots are getting really good, and they are legion out there. And they're all, one of them said, Trump is just one of the boys. Boys will be boys. What do you got? I mean, boys will be boys. Is that the kind of presidency we want? I guess we have it, whether we want it or not, whether we like it or not. And it's coupled with the boys will be boys, the grift. Everything is for clicks, likes, and sucking on that fat, stupid government money. And then you have the other, the evils. They're all evil, but like Dr. Oz saying how Americans need to retire later and start working earlier to drum up more money for the billionaires. This is how they think. And then you have Howard Lutnick, who's all over the Epstein files, and Scott Bessent, who is a gay man who benefited from all of the hard work that Democrats, the blood, the sweat, the tears of Democrats trying to move this country forward so he could marry his partner, which he did. So he, like all maggots, they take advantage of the civilization that Democrats make possible while trying to deny it for everyone else, while dragging us back, right? But they're all about, they're not about making the world safe for democracy or trying to lift all boats, right? They want to lift their own asses onto, it's like it is the Epstein class. Forget leave no one behind. They leave everybody behind. And it's so disgraceful that, even in a moment that it's an opportunity to make us look, I don't know, better. What are the Olympics for? But Traitor Trump doesn't ever miss an opportunity to make us look worse. Well, and then of course, let's get to the disgraceful video of the baboon. I'm sure you saw this. I don't know. We might have to lower it because of the music. Let me do that actually, because it will kill us on YouTube. Just gonna mute it. We don't need to hear it. It's the eye of the tiger. With this piece of shit has to put himself in the middle of everything, right? Because that's what's so irritating about being alive during this time, sharing the same air with unfit baboons like Traitor Trump, that we can't get a minute, right? Can't we get a minute without you? And then, of course, beating up a Canadian hockey player. Oh, you piece of shit. And you know what? On this particular YouTube spot or whatever that was playing this, I was looking at the comments. It was clearly a bunch of maggots there. And they were saying, is there anything he can't do? Ha 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 ha. This is great. So funny. So funny. Now, of course, keeping in mind they might be bots, but maybe not. So funny. What's so fucking funny about that? Like I said, Trump and Republicans are sore losers and sore winners. They're always whining about how everyone's picking on them. That's the thing with Kash Patel, too. He's on Dan Bongino's podcast, the one who quit because it was too much work. He had to go back to his podcast. doing an actual job was too much work. He was whiny little bitch about it. And then he was like, I love that clip from Fox News when he's like crying about how he has to get up in the morning and go to work and how hard it is. And he goes, well, I'm a big boy. I'm not complaining. I'm not, what did he say? I'm not, whatever he said, Christopher Ray or someone else, pointing to someone else. No, he said, I'm not Comey. And, but you don't hear Comey complaining like that, do you? You say it's all a grift. It's all a lie. They're all scam artists, con artists. Right? So they're just whiny bitch, sore losers, sore winners. And nobody likes a whiny bitch, but nobody likes a sore winner. It's almost worse than a sore loser. It's core to their governing philosophy and their philosophy as a whole. Everyone is picking on them. But they degrade the country while telegraphing simultaneously how unfit the whole maladministration is to wield power. They're absolutely, manifestly, fundamentally unfit. But this is not, it shouldn't be acceptable, and it should never be it should never be normalized. Trump and his maggot minions they're just the childishness that is incredible. It's metastasized. How can you run a good country, a great country, when you're not even good? Make America great again, and you're not even good. Right? We have serious, supposedly, top officials in real life, big boy jobs responding to serious questions with your mom jokes, profanity. We're bringing back the R word. This is disgusting. And they're unfit because, the hypocrisy is so bottomless, because they wouldn't tolerate it if anyone had a D after their name. Trump's feed, on his tripe social, is nothing but an endless stream of juvenile memes where he's a tough guy. He's attacking protesters, right? Pooping on protesters. Middle school level insults hurled at critics and journalists and the Constitution. This is cringe. It's worse than that, though, because it says the world, to the world, the United States is being run by people whose emotional range never got past a cafeteria food fight. That's what we're in. If only they were laughable, though. The damage that they're doing to America is beyond measure. Teachers are already reporting that Trump-style bullying is surging in classrooms all over the country. How are you supposed to combat that? Undermining years of anti-bullying work, where they think it's funny now when the president and his party reward cruelty, mockery, juvenile antics, conspiracy theories, right? Oh, the enemy and friend thing that Peter Thiel loves to talk about, quoting Nazi jurist Carl Schmitt. This is like every schoolyard bully's dream. Every online troll, it's like gets a presidential permission slip now. Normalizing it, normalizing the antics. And really what it says is that politics is not about policy or community, but it's about owning your fellow citizens. It's about humiliating them, not helping them, not leaving no one behind, not e pluribus unum, but owning them, owning the libs, everything that is somehow somewhat decent. I'm going to have to invite the women, It's all performative until they can finally X out the women altogether. And now remember, with the other thing about that was that Traitor Trump and these maggots I thought they were all about women's sports, right? That's why they had to protect women's sports from trans people playing in women's sports, right? They had to protect it. They don't give a shit about women's sports or women's anything. They want to bash trans people. They want another cudgel, another group, another out group for the dumbasses to beat up on while the maggots steal and smash and grab and fly around on private jets and have all the perks of the job, but none of the responsibilities, none of the actual work. This is unacceptable. A stable leader doesn't behave like this. But another thing I saw in the comments, were people saying, I just can't believe that Americans voted for this. So I have to think that those weren't the Russian bots. These are the whole world looking out, looking from, looking at us from outside saying, what the F? And it's disgusting. This is arrested development. I mean, we're dealing with an arrested development con man, a pedo, all over the Epstein files, a rapist, a criminal, a lifelong grifter with the emotional maturity of a schoolyard bully troll, but also the nuclear codes. And now he wants to get us into a war with Iran. Remember, we had a deal. It's called the Iran nuclear deal. Oh, but everything sucks. Everyone sucks. The worst deal. I'm the only one. It's the easiest deal I could do. But first I have to destroy the deal we already had so we can send more Americans to needlessly die. Or spend more money on bullshit and distractions from the Epstein files. All of this is so infuriating. Because it was preventable when you had an administration who actually were in office to work for the American people. Grifting wasn't their primary reason for getting out of bed in the morning. This is embarrassing in the very least, sinister in the very worst. And then you see, I don't know if you saw, you probably did, what the F is Jared Kushner doing anywhere in this administration, representing the United States? He's not a cabinet member, but there he is, negotiating. He's at the board of fucking so-called peace. Bullshit. Oh, God. Will it ever end? When is the great getting up morning? Anybody? Help. Help. And thank you, Jim, for being a moderator in the chat room. And for always being by my side here at the barricades. Thank you. It's incredible. Yes, as Ali HC says on the chat, he wouldn't even be able to physically put on a pair of ice skates because of his effing cankles. But, yeah. Oh, and the last, I see the time is coming to chicken by very seriously quickly. So, I don't know. What do you guys think about the Democrats going to the State of the Union? I'm of the opinion they should all boycott it, but many of them are, but many of them are not. What are you doing? A notable group, of course, are boycott. Well, I mean, this is another thing that annoys me because you think, if this were the Republicans, they'd all be unified. They would all, in lockstep, boycott. So, a bunch of them. It's only about, how many? Let me see. Let's see. NBC News is saying at least 12 Democratic lawmakers plan to skip the State of the Union. Oh, whoopee doopie. Many of them are instead joining counter events like the People's State of the Union rally on the National Mall and another State of the Swamp event at the National Press Club. But there's also, wait a minute, the Political Voices Network is hosting something. I should have had that ready. Where is it? I think it's a pay-per-view event. Oh, maybe they're streaming it. See? I wasn't invited, so I'm just kidding. Let me see. State. What should I look up? Let me see. State of the Union. Yeah, Political Voices Network. Many will be boycotting the State of the Union. At PVM, we're going to do something different. The state. Oh yeah, that's the State of the Swamp. Oh, they're promoting it. It's, yes, exactly. There you go. It's going to be played on the Political Voices Network, streamed on. So this network that I'm on right now, make sure you like and subscribe, because the State of the Swamp is going to be broadcast tonight on the Boycott Trump's speech and join the party, defiance.org, but it's going to be streaming right here on the Political Voices Network. Okay? I will be there. I will be watching it with you. But in the meantime, let's see. Where was I? We have about 10 minutes left, so. Isn't it disgusting, though, to watch this? If you're Canadian and you're watching this show, I am sorry. I'm trying. We're trying. For God's sakes. Really. But we got 3 more years of this. Yeah, the State of the Union is shite, like I said. Trump has made us less safe at home and abroad. It's been a wrecking ball, the second maladministration. A wrecking ball aimed squarely at everything that's good. Public safety, democracy, decency. And the State of the Union is rotten. And you know that Trump, I guess they're getting the advanced copies of his speech, and he's whining about Joe Biden all over the place. He's crying and bitching and moaning and whining about Joe Biden, because Joe Biden was a much better president than Traitor Trump. And he knows it. Just like he knows that Barack Obama is a better man through and through than he is. And he could never, without his trust fund and white privilege, he could never hold a candle. No, Tara Jr. is coughing. You okay? You hear that? And Joe Biden gave Trump a good economy, just like Joe Biden. Just like Obama. And history will remember Joe Biden as a better president who helped these poorly run red states, who created jobs, who was handed a bag of flaming doo-doo from Traitor Trump, who left the country with the worst jobs record since Herbert Hoover and a million corpses in his wake. And he turned it around. But these whining bitches, would never unify the country. They never take an opportunity to unify. It's always about division. That's why, if we had an actual leader during COVID, there could have been an opportunity to come together and unify about, we care about each other. That's why we wear a mask. We don't want to kill somebody. We're helping each other, and we'll get through this together. But instead, they had to turn it into masking became a matter of freedom, and vaccines became a matter of freedom, not about community or country. It's never about that for them. It's always about some bullshit way to divide. So Traitor Trump, he's made America worse. Of course, the corruption, the vandalism. He's made America filthier. He's framed climate policy as a religion that needs to be stabbed in the heart. Okay? Climate. Well, the whole world moves on to renewables. They're dragging us back to the 19th century. They've already ripped up the Clean Power Plan and they've redefined the Endangered Species Act. So, animals, schmanimals. Now they can these filthy corporations to pour. It's easier for them to pour their poison into our collective commons and damage habitats, lifting all bans on oil and gas extraction in pristine wilderness. They're rolling back mercury and coal waste protections. Well, because you need to have more birth defects and cancers. Because, hey, fuck it. Of course, we're bringing back measles, mumps, rubella, all these childhood diseases that we eradicated are coming back, withdrawing us from all these international climate commitments, while the Chinese are actually lowering their emission rates. And Canada, I'm sure Canada is now making deals with the Chinese, thanks to Traitor Trump. Not with us. In fact, Canada is, I think, if you're a Canadian, you can now travel to China without a passport. They're opening up that border so as a gesture of goodwill. We were once the closest partner, right, with China. I mean, not with China, with Canada, on trade, security, as we were saying earlier. Unbelievable how you could damage our relationship with the fucking Canadians. Wow. Yeah. Crazy. So, but they're doing it of course, because they have no other choice. Canada is diversifying. They have to. So is the rest of the world. You can't deal with a baboon. You want to make deals with a baboon? How can you? Is that the art of the deal? Just be a baboon? And then when Traitor Trump posts a meme of him beating up a Canadian citizen, a hockey player, they're going to make excuses for it. Oh, he's playing 5D chess. Oh, wow. There's the music. It just started. So, all of a sudden it just popped on. All right, guys. I can't believe that's the end of the Tarabuster Tuesday show for now. Because there will be another show on Thursday. Yeah, you're right. Haha, David says, this right-wing version of America really, really, really sucks hard. It does. Unfortunately, they're too stupid to see it because of a meme about Traitor Trump playing hockey, because they're unfit. All right, guys, listen, come on over to youtube.com/C for channel/Tarabuster. Subscribe to my Substack and YouTube. And we will win. All right, I say it's 2 o'clock. I got to pop off. Thank you for hanging out. I love you. Check out Charlie's APS Radio News. And I will see you guys on Thursday.